Ashley here, and I'm back to talk to you about the top 6 things you can do to stay positive in 2016. So let's get started. My number 1 thing to do during the year of 2016 to try to stay positive is to write down something positive that happens every single day. That may sound tedious, but it's really not. Just taking a second to write a sentence about what you found positive in your day, even if it felt like there was nothing, really helps. A thing I would suggest is a book like this. There are tons out there, but this one's called The Happiness Project, and I love it. Basically, and excuse the edges, my dog ate it, but basically it's a 1-sentence journal, and it keeps track for 5 years where you pick the date and you write down something that happened in that day that was positive. So I was having a lot of days where I didn't think anything was going positive, and I still had to find something every day, and it really helped me out a lot. One of the days was Greg proposed, so obviously that's really positive, but then there were other days that weren't as intensive positive things, but still really impacted me. On March 6th of last year, I was on the senior high retreat, so high school youth retreat, and 2 of my youth kept making fun of me for forgetting to pack pants. And that actually made me really smile, because even though it was a really stressful day at first to get everything together and ready, and I forgot to pack pants for an entire weekend, and that was a positive thing for me because it shows me that they're comfortable enough to be them and be funny and goofy around me, which makes me feel like that they trust me, and that's a wonderful thing to have when you're a youth leader. Number 2 is when you're just doing mundane things every day, like, going to work if you don't like your job, or going to school and learning subjects you don't like, or all sorts of little things, having to clean up, doing all those types of things. Think about how that can be for the glory of God or for the good of God and your faith. And if you're not a Christian, think about how it can be for the good of you in general. So what I basically mean is, when I was in high school, I was really good at math, and even though I was really good at math, I didn't always enjoy it because it felt very, mundane, and it felt like super repetitive, and I was like, why is this dragging on and on and on? And I didn't understand why I had to learn all of that when I didn't think I was going to do anything having to do with math when I grew up and picked a career. And so I realized later on that I ended up volunteering for a summer school program at another high school, right out of high school, helping them learn math and be tutored and stuff so they could pass their classes. And through doing that, I was able to talk to them about who I am in my life, and some of the questions came up about what I believe, and I was able to plant a seed about Jesus, and it was really amazing. So you never know when the mundane things you're doing will impact other people and show them Christ, or just impact other people in general. If you're just sitting in class and you don't know why you have to learn so you can know more and be more informed about the world around you so you know how to better impact them. And so those are just a couple examples of thinking about how the mundane things that seem really annoying or negative in your life can be so positive. Number 3 is to spend time worshiping God every day, or at least almost every day. You can start small if you don't do it very much, but it is so important and helps so much in feeling more positive about yourself and just in general, because you get to spend that time with Him and you're developing that relationship with something and someone that is perfect. You don't have to worship Him by listening to worship music, although that's something I love to do. I know a friend that does art. She'll just pray and she'll wait, and she feels like she's inspired by God for these different art pieces, and that's her way of worshiping. I know people that go out and just look at nature and think about how God created all of it and how beautiful it all really is, and that's a great way to worship Him as well. Reading His Word is obviously a great way to worship Him because that's His words that can talk to us about what He wants for us and how we're supposed to live like Him. There's all sorts of ways to worship Him. You can serve Him by doing different service things, whether it's, working at a soup kitchen or whatever, or even just spending time talking to other people. Talking to other people about your faith and stuff can help you develop your own faith and your own theology, because even when we're kids or even teenagers, we tend to take in the theology around us, and we don't always think ourselves. Sometimes we do, but we don't always think ourselves about what we truly believe, and so it kind of hits you like a ton of bricks one day. But if you're talking to people and you start praying about it and thinking about it and developing your own theology and your own belief system as a Christian, it helps tremendously in developing your faith. And again, if you don't believe in God, you can do this by just talking to other people about life in general and your beliefs and your morals and how to stay positive as a person and have other people feed into that. Branching off of that, number 4 is surrounding yourself with positive people. Sometimes we tend to surround ourselves with people that are negative or kind of drain us because we want to be there for them, which is totally fine, and I'm not saying run off and abandon those people by any means. But I am saying it's important to be there for those people as long as it doesn't drain you too much. If it does, then please remove yourself, because you need to be poured into as a person and have that energy to be able to pour into other people and make their lives better. So you figure out what's best for you and don't be afraid to take that step. But you can be there for those people. Also find people that are able to pour into you and make you a better person. And be there when you're struggling with different things, whether it's staying positive or depression or anxiety or cutting or fears or anything like that. You take those things and you're honest with someone about what's going on, and they're able to be there for you and hold you accountable and love you. And if you have people that are able to accept you for who you are, whether it's the good or the bad, and help you along in life, those people can really help you turn towards God, or even just to be more positive in general and a loving individual and develop as a human being. So it's super important to surround yourself with positive people as well. Number 5 is, if you fail at something, don't give up. That doesn't mean that you have to stay on that individual thing. Maybe you thought you'd be really good at something and you just aren't, no matter how hard you try. That's okay. You can move on. You don't have to stay with that, or you can choose to stay with that and keep going. But either choose to stay with that goal and keep going, or make a new one, because it is so important to have goals and believe in yourself and know that you can strive to be the best you can be. Don't fail at one thing and then think you're going to fail at everything else, because that's totally not true. God made us all different, and we all have different talents, and you have to find what talents you have so you can use it for His glory. Those are your spiritual gifts, and those are the things He's going to use. And again, even if you aren't a Christian, you can use this, and that you should never give up on yourself and knowing that you are worthy of doing great things and making a big difference in this world. And maybe you can't make a difference writing stories. Maybe you're a terrible writer, but maybe you can make a difference by talking to people or impacting people or whatever the different things are. You have something that you are amazing at. Don't think that you aren't good enough, and don't give up, because you can make an impact in this world, and you will make an impact if you don't worry about being taken down by everything around you. Number 6, and my last one, is be honest with people about your imperfections. This is super important. So many of us feel like we have to put on a mask and pretend we're this perfect being that just never does anything wrong. And that's so untrue. We're all so imperfect, and it sucks, but it's amazing because you have all these people you can talk to and relate to about your imperfections. So don't be afraid to share those imperfections with those people, because Jesus died on the cross so you can live, because you don't deserve to. He knew that we were going to be messy people even after He died on the cross for our sins, but He did it anyways because He loves us, and He's like, yes, you're going to be messy, you're going to be stupid, and that's okay because I love you. So be honest with people about when you're messy and you're stupid and all those different things, and show them your imperfections. Because if you don't show the cracks in your life or the cracks within you, the different things that you struggle with, then there's no place for the light of God to shine through. Because if you're perfect, then why would you need God? So it's so important to be honest with people about your imperfections and how that has impacted you and your faith. So those are my top 6 things to do to stay positive in 2016. I hope this helps you guys out there. If you have any questions about other things that may be helpful, or you have any suggestions about other things you'd like to hear me talk about, whether it's faith-based or anything else, Leave comments down below, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button. I want to hear from you guys, and I want to be here for you. So please subscribe, make suggestions, comment, ask questions, private message me if you need to. I'm here for you, and I'm thankful that you are a part of my life and that you are a part of God's kingdom, and I hope that you're able to grow in your confidence in that and be able to spread the word of Him. I love you all, and I'll see you soon. Bye, guys.